The new business model of 2023 is network marketing.
Network marketing is more unique than it is if you're a man.
I always say it's not perfect, it's just significantly better. You have a really, really big sense of community.
The young generation, they don't have any patience.
Business is repetition. Network marketing is repetition.
Hey guys, Rick Rowberry, Mr. Day One here. I am so excited about this interview. Have no idea how hard it is to get an interview with Coach Sayna. I'm so excited to be here. Let me just give a quick promo before we talk. I can tell you that I've known this lady for some time, and she has the most infectious enthusiasm, high energy attitude of anybody I've ever met in my life. She's very high energy. The one thing I love about Sayna is this passion for what she does, the high energy, the strength in her voice when she speaks and stuff. Anytime I can have you on a call or a Zoom or a YouTube, and I'm dying to have you on here. So what we're gonna do today is I want you to tell our subscribers a little bit about you, who you are, where you come from, and why you're in the business that you're in today. And more specifically, more about this industry of network marketing and what that means to you and why you think it's a good thing. And then of course, we're gonna save the best for last, and that's a business tip. Because I know that you've built a massive organization all over the world. You have got the top ranks of the company, and you're on stage everywhere we go, and so it's my pleasure today to have you here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you, that's so sweet. So I'm 26 years old. I am from Toronto, Canada, so I'm Canadian.
Are you rubbing the age in again? Is that what's going on here?
No, I feel like I'm getting old. I feel like 26, I'm getting old, but
Oh
it's
my
fine.
goodness.
But 26 from Toronto, and I'm originally Middle Eastern, so my family actually immigrated to Canada. And I feel like immigrant parents are very hardworking, and they want to always be very adamant on education. So my dad's an engineer, my mom's an accountant. They were very hardcore on school, and they always told me, you need to go to school, you need to go to school. Doctor, lawyer, engineer, pick one.
Wow.
And I was like, I suck at math and science, so we're gonna go with law. And I'm like, I'm gonna go to law school. So back in 2020, so I was about 22 years old at that time, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go for law school. I'm gonna apply. I wrote the LSAT, which is the law school entrance exam here. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go for it. At that time, I was also working at a bank part-time just to make money. Yeah. And it was when obviously the pandemic hit. So as soon as the pandemic hit, everything just went to a halt. All the law school applications were placed on hold, and then I ended up actually starting to work 6 days a week at the bank because I had nothing else to do. I always say that was the biggest blessing for me, because it was at that time that I was on social media and I was seeing someone kind of post about our business and what we really do online, and I was like, this looks really, really interesting. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to use social media just for leisure anymore. I need to make some sort of an income from it. And I was like, okay, I see all these girls doing these things online, so I want to do the same thing. I want to get involved. And it was literally just those 2 months that the law school applications went on hold and that I got involved with business, and my mind just went the other way. I saw people making incomes that you would probably have to be top of the line lawyer working for a minimum 25 years to ever achieve, and I'm seeing people who are 23 years old getting that.
Oh yeah.
And that's when I also realized that I was much more attached to the income of being a lawyer. I didn't have a passion for it. I really, really didn't.
That's important.
Yeah, and something one of my professors always told me was, if you can't see yourself doing it forever, don't even do it for one day. And I was I cannot see myself being a lawyer forever. I can't. So I don't even want to have to go through all of that. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get involved with this. It flipped my entire life around, because I didn't know anything about business, Rick, but I was like, you know what?
Well, you were young.
I was so young. I had no idea about business, but I was like, you know what? I see people my age doing what I do, and this is a skill set. It's not a God-given gift. So if it's a skill set and they're doing it, you're telling me that the only difference between me and this person is our hard work. So I'm gonna match your hard work.
So you can do that.
I can do the same thing as you.
Beautiful, I love it.
And that's when I was like, okay, never again. My law school applications are still open. I never submitted them. They still email me, finish your submissions, and I'm never doing that because I didn't want to go through with it. I quit my job at the bank 5 months after I got started. And it wasn't because necessarily at that time I was making a crazy income. It was just because I need to go all in with this. I can't half do something. And that's something my dad always instilled in me. He was like, I don't care if you want to be a garbage man. Go be the best garbage man in the world. You need to go all in with whatever you do. So I was like, I need to give this my business my all. I'm not gonna be one of those people who says, yeah, I got involved in business, I got involved in network marketing, and I kind of gave it, I tried. No, I'm really gonna go all in with this. And that's where it started.
My gosh. I'm so tired now listening to that. I'm gonna have to take a nap before we finish this thing. Now, the energy level of this young lady, guys, I gotta tell you, she has this infectious enthusiasm I always talk about with her team, and people love her, and the following is there for you. And so I wanted to give a chance today for these subscribers for them to see you, number one, but also to understand what about the network marketing industry do you think is good for the people in your team? You took the traditional course, you go to college, you go to university, you go out there, you get your degree, you get a job, and then you get hammered by your bosses the rest of your life. Talk about the uniqueness of the network marketing when it comes to freedom and responsibility at the same time.
Network marketing changed my life. Network marketing literally changed my life, and I'll tell you why. I think for people my age especially, and if you're someone who's watching this who's millennial or Gen Z, we used to think that business was a really, really scary word. I used to think, and I know a lot of people from my own team who I speak to, they used to think that business meant you had to come up with your own service, your own product, you have to be innovative, you have to be some next Albert Einstein, you have to be super, super creative, and that's an old business model.
That's right.
True, it's a traditional business, it's very old, and the new business model of 2023 is network marketing. It's where you can take advantage and leverage other companies and really become that person that builds that business for themselves, and you don't have to come up with your own products, you don't have to go through shipping yourself, and you don't have to go through coming up and getting approved, and like you don't have to go through all of that. It's all there for you, and it's so much easier. And I want people who watch this in 2003 to know that the ideal image of an entrepreneur is no longer just a man in a briefcase. It can be a 20-something-year-old girl who's living her life, doing whatever she wants, and taking advantage of the online space to build. So obviously the online space is a small part of network marketing, but it is really, really important. And I think that network marketing in general, I always say it's not perfect, it's just significantly better. It's significantly better than any job. It's significantly better than any other business route, especially if you've never done this before. It's significantly better because A, you have a really, really big sense of community. When you have other people running with you, you're not alone, and you have the help that you need. You have the help. You don't have to make as many mistakes as someone else would in a traditional business. Like you literally have help along the way. Getting mentorship, a mentor is a literal cheat code. You will not find many mentors in the traditional business world that will be willing to help you alongside with everything, unless you're paying them a significant amount of money. Significant amount of money.
Good point.
So the mentorship is unmatched, and obviously when it comes to having the back end stuff that some people don't see, corporate teams, and having help and support, you don't have to figure all that yourself. So network marketing absolutely changed my life, and I will say that for a lot of people who, I have people on my team who are like, maybe I don't want like the crazy lifestyle, I don't want the mansions and the yachts. I have a lot of moms on my team, and they say to me, I just want something where I can be home with my children.
Oh yeah, the
and
time.
It's the timing, it's the flexibility. Like you really get to choose your own hours. That's the beauty of business. Sometimes it can be like bittersweet, but I think it's the beauty where you can literally choose your own hours. So this is something that gives you that time freedom, that flexibility, and you don't have to really report to anybody. You have to report to yourself. It does mean you have to hold yourself accountable. I'm not saying, again, it's not easy, but it's just better. But it's so much better than having to report to somebody else. So network marketing for me changed my life, and I always say to people, even if throughout these videos that you guys are watching, if it doesn't make 100% sense to you, that's okay. If it's foreign to you, that's okay. But see the potential that it has within everyone that's coming on these episodes and myself, and run with that. You don't know what you don't know, and you have to kind of run with what you see, and you will get far as well.
Well, I tell you what, you hit a lot right there. A lot of really important points. I think one of the most important, even in the early days when it wasn't normal, I've always been into women empowerment. It's very important to me, and that's why I wanted you on this video today. You're the most powerful woman I've ever met, and people are hearing you right now. But as a woman, okay, network marketing is more unique than it is if you're a man. Because the women are wearing 3 or 4 different hats. There's a difference, isn't there?
Multitaskers.
Yeah, they're multitaskers. Men are not good at multitasking. No. If we can focus on something, we can do it, but we can't do 2 things. The women are like going all over out there, so we're limited that way. Okay, let's talk about some business tips. You've had a lot of success in this project and had a meteoric rise, and just tell the subscribers some of the things, as people are out there listening saying, what's the key? As I said, I think it was on the video, what's the key? What's the magic in what it is? And I've always said it's like work, but for you, give them some business tips of what you think, some things that have worked for you. By the way, this lady, her social media, we could do a whole event just on the social media, because they do all of the different stuff, even podcasts. You're getting into all kinds of stuff. We'll talk about it another time, but tips.
So I have a lot, but I'll give my few that genuinely help myself. By the way, for anyone who doesn't really know my past, I used to be very introverted before I got involved in this business. I had no confidence. I never wanted to speak on camera. This would have shook me.
Wow.
I did not have a voice like this, but at some point I saw, again, the people in network marketing and in business who were making high incomes, and I was like, what's the biggest difference between them and myself? They're loud, they're willing to speak, they're willing to be very active. And I said, okay, I can't be super introverted and quiet and non-confident but still make money, and the other way. And then at that point I had to decide, am I going to be broke? And am I just going to struggle all my life and just remain in this place of being insecure, or am I just going to speak up? And I'm not even joking with you, and I say this as my first tip: beggars cannot be choosers. If you are in a situation where you're not happy, you're financially anxious, you know that you need to get more out of network marketing. If you're already in network marketing, put the ego down. You cannot have a super introverted lifestyle and be not confident and still achieve that income. Put the ego down, start to look at social media and speaking to people as genuinely business. It's not where people are going to be only judging you. And I hate to say this, but we live in a very selfish generation. People will forget about you in 5 minutes. Yeah. So we think we're being judged, maybe for 5 minutes, then they're on to the next thing in their own life. So you might as well just do it. Like, do it and get yourself out there and say what you need to say.
That's a great point.
Yeah, like really, we are in a selfish generation. Everyone wants for themselves. So you need to put your ego down. That's my first one. Put your ego down, because beggars cannot be choosers. And when I say put your ego down, I'm saying with the consistency of doing the work. A lot of people in network marketing will say, okay, I talked about my service or my product twice this week, and I showed people the plan. I got them to comment. Guys, that's not enough. That is absolutely not enough. Business is repetition. Network marketing is repetition. You better be talking about it every single day. I don't care if you think someone has heard it. They might need to hear it 75 more times. It's actually been proven that someone needs to see something 15 times before they buy it. So imagine someone needs to see something 15 times. Now that's one person. And if you're having multiple people watching you and following you and talking to you, they need to see it a lot. So the consistency is something that goes hand in hand with dropping that ego. Because guess what? Most people, especially in network marketing, think, well, I spoke about it a few times. No one's reached out to me. Of course they haven't reached out to you. You got to talk about it a lot more. You got to talk about it a lot more. And there's a lot of traditional businesses that do this, like Coca-Cola. What do they say? Oh, just because we have one bottle out, we should never do advertising again. They don't say that. They're always advertising. They're always on billboards. And that's the same thing with network marketing. This is a business. This is literally a business. So you have to be consistently talking about your service or your product. If you can't be talking about your service or your product, you're not going to get any production, and that's a failed business. So just keep talking about it. And my third piece of advice that I would say is do not try and reinvent the wheel. If you have a mentor who has what you want, they have what you want, the lifestyle that you want, whatever, they have what you want and they're telling you what to do and how to get there, don't try and make your own system and confuse yourself and overwhelm yourself. Just copy them. They're literally giving you the cheat code. Trust in the process. Follow what they're doing, trust the process, and go with it. Drop the ego. They might know more than you in this sense, and that's okay. That's fine. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. Just do what works. So again, drop the ego. Beggars can't be choosers. Stay consistent for a long period of time, and don't try and reinvent the wheel if you have a mentor.
Wow. So shy and introverted, huh?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Right. I don't even know that person you're talking about. You know, one thing I've seen, this industry just totally transforms people.
Oh my gosh.
It takes them from A to Z so fast, and it's on just a fast track. And that's the thing I really like about it, especially with the young generation. They don't have any patience. I remember, starting some young people off, and they're like, "Can I be rich in 60 days?" And I'm like, "What is that?" My generation, you don't need 20 years or 30 years running a business. You get $2,000 a month to retire on.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be rich so fast, and the thing is that expectation happens for some people. But setting those expectations for your entire team, as you do, and the training and the energy that you give your team is just amazing for me to watch. And I love you so much, and I appreciate you so much, and all the things that you do for people out there. Because when that's all said and done, when I look at network marketing, what does network marketing mean to Rick Rowberry? Network marketing to Rick Rowberry is a true platform where I can really share my heart. And I don't really know how that is in business, because I have other businesses, lots of different industries. And the brick and mortar businesses don't have that emotional attachment, do they?
No.
Yeah, it's a completely different thing. And so I love the network marketing industry, because what it does is it allows people to fall in love with themselves, first of all, and then to love people.
Yes.
And as I always said, when you learn to really speak from the heart, then people will remember you, rather than speaking from the mind where they forget the words as soon as they're spoken. And so I am so excited that I got you. I finally got you on here. It's just crazy. I love it. I love it. But anyway, you're flying back to Toronto today and getting back up there. But our Canadian friends, guys, are just killing it in business. I remember 20 years ago talking about the Canadians weren't as entrepreneurial now as they are then as they are now. They weren't. And I thought, if they ever figure this thing out, they'll dominate the world, and they figured it out.
We figured it out.
They figured it out, and they do that. So thank you so much, Sayna. I appreciate you so much for what you did. Listen to this, subscribe and like if you like the content that you're getting here, guys. Sayna, Coach Sayna, we love and appreciate you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.